Greetings, seekers of truth and wanderers of the hidden realms. Welcome to Myth or Real, where shadows of the past whisper secrets to those who dare listen. Tonight, we journey into the heart of Greek mythology, not merely to recount tales, but to unravel the threads of meaning woven into the fabric of a being both magnificent and tragic, Argus Panoptes, the all-seeing. Before we begin, allow me to illuminate the path for newcomers. This channel is a sanctuary for the curious, where myths are not mere stories, but mirrors reflecting humanity's deepest fears, desires, and mysteries. Here, we dissect legends, question their origins, and ponder, could they be echoes of a reality long forgotten? If this resonates with you, consider joining our fellowship. Your support fuels our quest. Now, let us descend into the labyrinth of Argus Panoptes. The tale of Argus Panoptes. Origins, the birth of a titan. Argus Panoptes was no ordinary giant. His lineage is debated. Some say he sprang from Gaia herself, Earth's primordial womb, while others claim he was the son of Aristor, a lesser-known deity of the Argive plains. Yet all agree, Argus was singular. His body, a colossus of muscle and might, was crowned with 100 eyes, shimmering like constellations. These eyes never slept in unison. While some rested, others remained vigilant, an eternal sentinel. But here lies a paradox. How does one born to see become a prisoner of sight? Argus, despite his omniscience, was destined to serve, his gaze tethered to the whims of the divine, guardian of the unseen. Long before Hera enlisted him, Argus roamed the wilds, a silent protector. Some lesser-known hymns whisper of him slaying Echidna, the mother of monsters, or battling the murderous satyr that terrorized Arcadia. His eyes, it said, could pierce illusions, revealing truths even the gods wished hidden. This prowess drew Hera's attention. The queen of Olympus, ever wary of Zeus's infidelities, saw in Argus the perfect warden, the burden of Io. Enter Io, the mortal maiden transformed into a heifer by Zeus to hide his transgression. Hera, suspecting deceit, demanded the heifer as a gift and tasked Argus with guarding her in a grove, sacred to Mycenae. For years, Argus's eyes traced Io's every step, his loyalty unwavering. Yet, in quiet moments, his gaze softened. Did he see Io's anguish? Did his 100 eyes weep for her? Here, the myth deepens. Some fragments suggest Argus chose his duty, not out of blind obedience, but out of empathy. To him, Io was not a prisoner, but a kindred spirit, both pawns in the gods' games. Hermes and the art of slumber. Zeus, desperate to free Io, summoned Hermes, the trickster, disguised as a shepherd. Hermes lulled Argus with tales of Pan's Syrinx and the sorrows of mortals. As the stories unfolded, one by one, Argus's eyes fluttered closed. Yet, legend claims it was not the lyre but Hermes' final story, a lament for beings cursed with endless sight. That broke Argus's resolve. With a sigh, the last eye shut, and Hermes struck. Legacy, eyes of the cosmos. Hera, mourning her loyal servant, transplanted Argus's eyes onto the tail of her sacred peacock, transforming grief into splendor. But there's more. The Argonautica hints that Argus's eyes became stars, guiding sailors through treacherous seas. Others say his spirit fused with the earth, his watchfulness enduring in the rustle of leaves and the murmur of rivers. The unseen threads. The four-eyed giant asterisk some vase paintings depict Argus with 4 eyes, symbolizing his dominion over the 4 winds or seasons. The ship's prow, a forgotten verse claims the Argo, Jason's ship, bore a figurehead carved with Argus's likeness, his eyes warding off sea monsters. The philosopher's muse, Plato once mused that Argus embodied the futility of empiricism, seeing all, yet understanding nothing without wisdom. Philosophical reflections. Argus's tale is a meditation on perception's prison. To see all is to bear the weight of the world. Yet true sight demands more than eyes. It requires discernment. Argus, the eternal watcher, becomes a mirror for our age of surveillance and information overload. What do we sacrifice when we mistake vigilance for wisdom? The Forgotten Chronicles, Argus beyond Io. While Argus's role as Io's guardian is his most famous duty, fragments of Orphic hymns and Hesiodic Scolia whisper of other exploits lost to mainstream retellings. The Titanomachy's silent sentinel. During the war between Titans and Olympians, Argus allegedly served as a scout for Gaia, his eyes tracking the movements of Cronus's forces. His loyalty, however, shifted when Zeus promised him a place in the New Order, a promise unfulfilled, seeding resentment in Hera's later patronage. The Keeper of the Lethe, some Attic vase paintings depict Argus guarding the river Lethe, the waters of forgetfulness. Here, his eyes ensured souls drank oblivion, only when deemed ready by the fates. Was this a reward or punishment? To witness infinite lives, yet remember none? Argus and the Oracle of Dodona. A 3rd century BCE papyrus fragment claims Argus's eyes were oracular. Priests at Dodona, Zeus's sacred grove, would interpret patterns in his blinking, a mythic precursor to reading entrails or stars. The eyes of Argus, symbolism reborn. Argus's 100 eyes transcend myth, embedding themselves in art, religion, and even psychology. The peacock's paradox, Hera's peacock, adorned with Argus's eyes, became a symbol of vanity in medieval bestiaries. Yet in Hinduism, the peacock is the Vahana of Sarasvati, goddess of wisdom. Is Argus's legacy one of hubris or enlightenment? The Illuminati connection. Renaissance occultists, like John Dee, interpreted Argus's eyes as a metaphor for divine omniscience. His image appears in grimoires as a glyph for the all-seeing architect, later appropriated by conspiracy theorists. Modern surveillance state. Philosopher Michel Foucault's Panopticon, a prison where inmates feel perpetually watched, draws uncanny parallels to Argus. Are we, in the digital age, all I/O under the gaze of algorithmic gods? The psychological Argus, a mirror to the human soul. Let's dissect Argus not as a monster, but as an archetype. The burden of hypervigilance. Argus's never-sleeping eyes mirror modern anxiety disorders. His fate asks, can endless watchfulness ever bring peace? Or does it doom us to Hermes' blade, a sudden collapse? Empathy in a stone heart. Argus's hinted compassion for Io suggests a conflict between duty and morality. In Sophocles' lost play Argus, he reportedly defies Hera, whispering to Io, run. Was he a tragic rebel, avant la lettre? The duality of sight. Plato's allegory of the cave contrasts Argus's physical sight with philosophical insight. Argus sees everything but understands nothing of the gods. Machinations, a cautionary tale against superficial knowledge. Argus in global myth, echoes of the all-seeing. Argus's archetype resurfaces in cultures far beyond Greece. Hinduism's Indra. The god Indra is depicted with 1,000 eyes. Many gifted after a curse turned his body into a constellation of sight. A parallel to Argus's peacock transformation. Norse Heimdall, the watchman of the Bifrost. Heimdall hears grass grow and sees for hundreds of miles. Both he and Argus die fulfilling their duty, slain by tricksters, Hermes/Loki. Buddhist Argus? The asterisk Drygung Kyabgon lineage speaks of a 1,000-eyed Avalokiteshvara, a bodhisattva whose eyes see all suffering. Coincidence, or proof of mythic universalism? The unanswered mysteries, lost texts, and speculations. The Argus Papyri, in 1896. A cache of papyri near Thebes described a cult dedicated to Argus the Omniscient, where initiates drank a brew of poppy and henbane to open inner eyes. The cult was erased by early Christians for pagan divination. Argus and the Pleiades. A controversial theory by astronomer Robert Graves links Argus's eyes to the star cluster Pleiades. In his The Greek Myths, Graves posits that the peacock's tail mirrors the constellation's layout. Love Beyond Death. A fragment by poet Bucolides claims Argus loved a nymph named Myrine. After his death, she drowned herself in the Inachus River, which later woke as the guardian spirit of Argos. Argus in modern media, from forgotten to fandom. Lovecraftian horror. H.P. Lovecraft's The Dunwich Horror features an invisible, multi-eyed entity, a nod to Argus as a cosmic terror. Marvel's Argus in Marvel Comics. Argus is reimagined as a SHLD-like organization. Its logo a peacock eye. Director Peggy Carter even quips, "We see what others can't." Cyberpunk Argus in Deus Ex. The Argus augmentation grants players enhanced vision, a literalization of the myth's themes of sight and control. Philosophical deep dive, the ethics of omniscience. Argus's tale forces us to confront uncomfortable questions. Is total awareness a curse? Ancient myths and modern tech giants alike chase omniscience. Yet Argus's fate warns, to see all is to become a tool or a target. Who watches the watchman? Argus served Hera, but who guards the guardians? In a world of AI and big data, his myth feels eerily prophetic. The redemption of sight, Argus's eyes, repurposed as stars and peacock feathers, suggest that even in death, perception can evolve into beauty or guidance. What transforms surveillance into sanctity? Audience engagement, the call to the oracle. Now, fellow mythics, the labyrinth opens to you. Which facet of Argus's tale resonated most? The tragic guardian, the cosmic symbol, or the psychological mirror? Cast your vote in the comments. And if your favorite mythological figure hasn't been explored yet, name them. Warriors, demons, or perhaps a creature lurking in myth's forgotten corners. Your voice shapes our next odyssey. Final farewell, the Watcher's benediction. The host stands before a star map, peacock feathers fanned around them. Argus Panoptes, the all-seeing, reminds us that every eye is a story, every gaze a silent prayer. As we close this chapter, remember, to seek truth is to embrace both light and shadow. Until our paths cross again in the labyrinth of myth or real, stay curious, stay bold, and never stop questioning the unseen. Farewell, and keep watching.